Hey everyone, Josh here, and today on the channel I am launching what I hope becomes a new series of videos on the channel. So if you've watched any of my previous videos, you may have heard me talk about the Georgia Alliance of Star Wars Collectors. It's a Facebook group, I'm a member, and recently here I reached out to one of the members and asked him if he would allow me to come into his house and film his collection, give me a little tour. And he was very generous, and he invited me into his house. Now, this collector's name is Justin. He's one of the founding members of the group. And so let's check the footage out. Let's see his collection. It's very impressive, so let's go. All right, everyone. Today we're here with Justin Haney, and we're going to do a tour of his collection. And I want to ask him a few questions about his collection before we do a walkthrough, so let's get started. So, Justin, how long have you been collecting?
I've been at it for a little over 20 years now. Just before the Power of the Force 2 line came out, kind of the excitement of that really started the fires of getting back into collecting and collecting the vintage stuff as well.
What is your favorite character to collect? Do you have a specific character you focus on, or are you just kind of a general all around?
You know, I love all the vintage Kenner stuff, but honestly, Han and Leia are my two go-tos. Okay. Really enjoy collecting both those figures.
And then, I mean, it's kind of obvious just from what I'm seeing around me here, but I'm going to ask anyway. What is your favorite line to collect?
It's got to be vintage. Anything and everything Kenner.
Okay. And what would you say is your favorite piece? If you had one thing in your collection that's your favorite.
Man, that's tough. If we're gonna stick to toys, my favorite toy is probably my my Hero 3-pack. My vintage Hero 3-pack. It's a rare item, and it's got Han and Leia in it, so it kind of really just fits perfectly in my collection. It was one of those Grail type items that I really knew I needed to own. So.
Okay, you're going to show that to us when we go.
Yeah, we'll get around to that.
Okay, and then what would you say is your favorite movie / trilogy? I mean, I think it's kind of obvious.
Yeah, I mean, Star Wars, clearly, the Holy Trilogy, that's how I always refer to it.
Okay, the original.
The originals,
okay.
Yeah, the originals. Inside of that, Empire really holds a dear place in my heart.
That's kind of standard answer for everyone.
Yeah.
Okay, so what would you say your favorite Star Wars content is that's not one of the films? TV show, book? Oh,
man. Well, I grew up in the 80s, man. I'm a gamer kid. I grew up with Nintendo. I'd say some of the video games, man. I can pinpoint times in my life playing the original Battlefront games. I still play the new Battlefront games, you know? So I like gaming. So Star Wars games are great, all of them.
Could you pinpoint one specific game that you would say is your favorite game?
Oh, man. Probably the original Battlefront 2. Not the one that's modern for PlayStation and Xbox.
On PlayStation 2.
On PlayStation 2.
Yes, I put hours and hours into that thing.
I mean, it was just great. You got to live the battles. It was everything I always wanted. So.
All right, here's a question that I know for me the answer to this is no. But do you ever let go of any pieces in your collection? Sell, trade?
Yeah, I do. I think honestly, once you get to a point in your collecting habits, especially when you're collecting vintage and it's just hard to acquire certain pieces, the only way to get there is to trade or to sell up to be able to afford something. Pieces will come along and, you know, the price tags on them just keep getting higher and higher. The more stuff you collect, the less stuff you need, and typically that stuff you do want is really expensive. And I think just trading up and selling up to get stuff is kind of where I'm at in my collecting these days.
See me, that's my rule right now. I haven't gotten to that point. Once it's in my grip, I don't let it go. Nothing. So, but anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, and then I'm asking everyone this just because it's a controversial topic right now in the Star Wars community. What was your opinion on The Last Jedi?
Yeah. I really enjoyed it.
Really?
Yeah, I did. I think as long as they're keeping Star Wars in the public's eye, you know, as long as new content's coming out, I'm happy, man. And you know, that's really it. I'm excited that we even get to have this conversation of whether we liked a new Star Wars movie or not. You know, I mean,
yes.
There's so much on the horizon that they're doing, and you know, I'm just excited for it.
I have my complaints about The Last Jedi. but overall I would say I liked it. But I was having a discussion online with a guy the other day. Look, man, I was a fan back in the late '80s, early '90s. Nothing was coming out.
Right,
We had
dark
nothing.
times.
And it's exactly what I said. I call that the dark times of being a Star Wars fan. If
Yeah.
you stuck it out through that time, all you had was maybe a couple books.
You
know.
can't keep up with the content.
Yeah, now it's coming out so
There's novels,
fast.
there's comics, there's video games that are canon. There's movies, there's multiple TV shows, there's animated. There's so much Star Wars content right now. I mean, how can you not just smile, man?
That's what I said. It's like just be glad you have something to complain about. They're even making stuff. You should be happy. There's movies coming out once. I thought this would never happen in my lifetime.
Exactly.
Okay. And then let's start talking about the GASWC, and for those who don't know, that is the Georgia Association of Star Wars Collectors, and it is
the Georgia Alliance.
I'm sorry, I always want to call it association. I'm sorry.
It's all right.
But that is a Facebook group that I'm a member of, and Justin is a founding member of. And just tell me about the group a little bit, and tell me what inspired you guys to start it.
Yeah, so it all started at the last celebration in Orlando, and I can't think of the number. The numbers start to all run together. But it was a couple years back in 2016 in Orlando, and I'm sitting there with Shane and Glenn, the two other founding members. We're all from Atlanta, or at least the surrounding Atlanta area, and it all took going to this Star Wars convention for us to sit down, have a beer, and talk toys together. And we just thought that was absurd, you know? We're 6-7 hours from our homes. Why couldn't we do this at the bar down the street or the restaurant or someone's house? And so we sat there, we kind of made the pact. We were like, let's put this thing together, man. Let's do this once a month. Let's see if other people are interested. Let's just come together as a community, talk toys, buy toys, sell toys, trade toys, you know, help others out with their collections, you know, and it's just exploded. We're getting close to 2 years with Celebration coming up in Chicago. That'll be our 2-year mark just about. And, man, we've exploded. Just tons of members, you know, participation's fantastic. We have group outings that we go to outside of just toys, you know, stuff you can bring your kids and your family. Mm-hmm. We just had a holiday meetup actually here at my home, and me and my wife, and we did a potluck. It was like a holiday theme. Everybody cooked food. I mean, it's just a really good community.
I gotta tell you, I enjoy it, and one of the things I like about it is interacting in person with other Star Wars fans, because until I started being active on social media, that was one of the things I felt like a weirdo for being such a huge Star Wars fan. And then I started getting online and social media and Facebook and Twitter and all that, and I started to realize, wow, I'm not alone. Yeah. There's tons of people out there who are like me. And then over time, I ran into Glenn on Facebook and saw the group and asked to join, and like that, he let me in. And one of the things I really like about it, other than the meetups, is the other members saying, hey, this is where I found a figure at this price, at this store, and that, I'm a modern collector, so that really helps me, because there's stuff going on at Five Below, or there's stuff going on at Target right now in my area, and I've found that a very valuable resource for me as a collector, and because I remember collecting back before internet, and you didn't have that stuff. It was just, let's see what's in this store, let's see what's in this store, let's see what's in this store, but now I know, hey, at North Point Target,
they got the Black Series. We started that shortly after we started the group, and it was, we dubbed it the Toy Run. You put in the hashtag Toy Run, put the location of the store, take a picture, like, hey, this is what I left on the shelves. It's here at this time. Here's the store location. Everybody go get it, you know? And it's been kind of cool, and it helps the members out. And I mean, man, that hunt, as much fun, making toy runs are a lot of fun, you know, but you go to 5, 6, 7 stores and keep striking out. It can be frustrating. Gas is expensive, you know. Time consuming, all these things. It's nice to know, like, hey, man, that's 10 minutes from my house. Maybe I'll just run down there real quick and, pick up what I need.
Yeah, I did the stupidest thing the other day. I stopped at this Target Walmart on one side of my area, and they had these 2 Black Series I wanted really bad, but I was like, no, I'm just going to wait. I'll pick them up somewhere else a little bit cheaper. Then one day I decided I'm ready to pull the trigger on them. I don't care. I'll pay retail. And I must have stopped at 6 or 7 Targets or Walmarts one Saturday, between a Friday afternoon and a Saturday morning. And I finally made it back around to the first place I originally saw them, and they were still there 2 weeks later. And it's just frustrating. That exact thing is what you can avoid. But anyway. Yeah. All right, so What would you say your favorite thing about the Georgia Alliance of Star Wars collectors is?
Well, I mean, I think we just touched on it, but it's getting collectors together in person. You know, there was Rebel Scum and the chat groups and all that. You know, Facebook's come around, and it's nice to like get on there and talk with people, but it's a whole nother experience just getting together with people and talking face to face and checking out people's collections and seeing, you know, I mean, everybody's curating their own collection, you know, and it's really cool to see some of the stuff that's out there that, you know, I don't even know exists, that people are super passionate about, you know, and you can just see them light up when they start talking about it. I think that's been the coolest thing, is just getting out and getting to meet with other people.
All right. Final question before we do a little walkthrough of your collection. Have you ever thought about expanding the group, maybe going from Georgia to, say, the Southeast?
Oh, man. Expansion. I don't think we're quite there yet. I mean, you know, and I will say this with the group, we will let people join if they're not specifically from Georgia, because Atlanta is one of the biggest hubs around. We've had members from other countries chime in and say, hey, you know, I don't live there, but I come there once a year for a business trip. Like, I'd love to come check out some collections and come to a meetup when I'm in town. And we're like, sure, man, come on, you know. So I don't think necessarily us branding that we're more regional based, but I think we're doing a good enough job of saying, hey, we're inclusive, man. We've got some great members that are extremely active. They're in Tennessee and in Alabama, and when they get the time, they do come out to stuff, you know, but because they're lacking a group where they're from, you know.
Well, I want to make that clear to everyone, because it was made clear to me by one of the other administrators, Glenn, that they'll take members worldwide. So on my channel, I interact with people from Paris, Germany, England, and they're more than welcoming to you if you want to join the group. I mean, obviously you're not going to be in Georgia, but you can see what they do online and how they interact with each other. So and I talk to fans in Chicago and, you know, all over the country, and if you just want to be online and be part of the group online, you're more than welcome. Just ask to join, and then we'll let you in. I can assure you.
There's only one disclaimer about that. You're not allowed to sell in the group unless you physically made it to a meetup. And our only reasoning behind that is we don't want dealers just coming in and taking over our board every day and posting stuff for sale. Once you've made it to a meetup physically, you're more than happy to sell away. But that's our only caveat, and it's just kind of to protect our group and protect our members, and you know,
that makes total
keep
sense.
it a family.
All right, yeah. All right, man. Let's do give me a tour. Show me what you got. Let's do a walkthrough.
Awesome. Sounds good.
Okay, everyone. So we're in Justin's house, and he's going to give us a tour of his collection. And we're in his living room right now, and he has got a massive poster. Could you walk in front of that poster so people can see how big it is? Okay, so this is a French poster from Return of the Jedi.
Correct, yeah.
And it's in his living room.
Yeah, crazy little story. I actually picked this up at my bar in Atlanta off of a guy who his family had gone to France for a family vacation back in the 80s. For whatever reason, he picked one of these up. It had been sitting in storage in their attic the entire time. I have quite a few Star Wars pieces at my bar. He knew I was a fan and a collector. Came by, gifted this thing to me. So
very nice.
Got it framed up in the new house, and just kind of cool piece sitting in the living room.
Beautiful. Okay, and we're going to walk over through his living quarters here, and he has what I caught my eye as soon as I walked in his house. He has a Chewbacca head, and what's the story with this?
That's just a piece I got way back back in the early 90s as a kid, probably a birthday present or something like that. Just an old piece, decided to throw it in there. We'll throw a Santa hat on it during Christmas, kind of something else for the house. So,
okay.
But this would be the start of the main collection room, heading down to the basement. As I mentioned, I own a bar in Atlanta. We do lots of art shows with local Atlanta artists. So a lot of this art you're going to see is from local Atlanta artists, either stuff they made for me and my wife, or stuff I purchased or commissioned. A lot of stuff Prince will recognize for Celebration. Just kind of a cool collection, and it kind of leads you down into the Star Wars.
Tell everyone the name of your bar.
My bar's Diesel Filling Station. It's in Virginia Highlands. It's one of the oldest neighborhoods in the Atlanta area. Just an old, cool little neighborhood to go check out.
Cool. Yeah. All right. So I'm going to film some of this art as we're going downstairs.
Okay.
I really like the dog with the buns. That's nice.
Yeah, that was a commission piece from a friend of our little dog. So just a bunch of various pieces.
I really like this one, this tall piece of Leia. And I know I'm scanning these a little fast, guys, so if you want to get a better look at them, you're going to have to pause the video. But we got a lot to get through, so I'm trying to be as quick as I can and film as much as I can. And you said these two here of Solo are actually...
Those are production use pieces in the art department. Costume design pieces. Obviously, they're a little different than what we saw in The Force Awakens. Some of you that attended Celebration Orlando, that piece was painted by Christian Wagner, the Leia piece.
With the brown.
Yeah, it was hand painted during Celebration, the last Orlando.
I like the roller skates. So that's cool. Okay, and then you still have your Christmas tree up.
Yeah, I kept the Christmas tree up for you. Been doing the Hallmark ornaments since I believe it was '93 when the Falcon came out. And I just keep buying these things year after year. And so the wife lets me put a little tree up near the collecting room and just put them on display.
I know, I actually had this discussion with my wife because we use a little tree like this in our main living room because I don't like having a big tree. And I saw these black trees at the store, and I thought, if we bought the black tree and put white lights on it and then covered it with ships, it would look like the Battle of Yavin.
Yep, it's fantastic.
All right, and then so over here we have, you were telling me about this poster earlier with all the autographs?
Yeah, so there's a local convention here in Atlanta called Dragon Con, and I've been going for a long, long time, kind of what got me into collecting back in the day. And so just various signatures I've gotten over the years, still missing a Harrison Ford on that one, fingers crossed. I don't do send-ins, you know, they're all signed in person, so... if I ever get the chance to meet him, that's going to be the first thing I take. So I got some helmets here. When I met my wife, we wanted an excuse to go meet the stars again, you know, meet Carrie Fisher again and Mark Hamill. So we started this collection, one for each of the trilogies, you know, works in progress. But it's something kind of fun to collect and a good excuse to get out and you know, pay for the autographs and get to meet the stars. So some original theatrical posters. I kind of got a rotating collection of these. I keep the rest stored. But this is what I got out on display now.
This is what I want to do next in my collection is start. I have a ton of posters, but I don't have any of them framed. And I'd love to just get them framed up and start hanging them up. But it's just one of those things, finding the time to do it and the money and everything. So, and then the bucket collection, and they're all autographed?
Yep, they're all autographed. You know, got a handful on each of them. We've been doing them for about 7 or 8 years now.
Okay, so this is the first case you have. And
yeah, so all of this stuff is in the hallway here, and it's just kind of an homage to all the different kind of stuff that I like to collect. There's some modern prototype stuff in here. There's some stuff from the collecting track at Celebrations. There's some custom pieces. You know, we focus on a lot of Han and Leia items, so there's a lot of Han and Leia custom pieces in here. There's patches. You know, I like the swag trading. There's some stuff that has been gifted to me. I'm also a big gamer, so I started collecting some sealed Star Wars video games. There's some modern pre-production items.
Yeah, I see the old Atari games, and then I see the Super Nintendo games, and again, those are games I probably wasted a lot of my youth on.
Yeah,
so,
there's some fun.
Oh, I see you got Shadows of the Empire in there. You should get that out so people can. That was a favorite. One. Yeah, I actually got the figure line or most of the figure line from that.
So this is kind of the stuff that I let just anybody see, you know, when they're coming over to the house, and they can see all this stuff. There's some cast and crew stuff here from Solo as well. One of these
something that's catching my eye.
Right, the Chewbacca.
The colorful Chewbacca.
Yeah,
what's the story on that?
That's a custom by an artist named Healy, or he goes by Healy Made. He's an artist out of New York. There's also another piece in this cabinet to the far left, the pink Trooper. That's Sucklord. He kind of started the high-end custom movement, I think, out of New York. And that's just a piece I picked up at a really cool store called Toy Tokyo in New York City. My wife and I went with the family and wanted kind of a souvenir from the trip, so I picked up that we made.
So they have a perfume called Slave Leia. I've never even seen that before.
That was a Celebration exclusive. I want to say Anaheim. I'm not 100% sure.
Okay, and then
For everybody asking, the rocket firing Boba Fett.
Yeah, I was just about to ask you about that. I said that is. I was going to wait.
It'd be in a much nicer case. That's a Poon. And then the Vlix next to it is also a fake.
I love the finger with Carrie would give them. Beautiful. Love it. Okay. So then the last case over here.
Yeah, so some modern pre-production pieces. Just various types of pre-production stuff. Some Lily Letty. Some really nice pieces there. My wife and I, we really like the Emperor. We like bad guys. We collect Han and Leia primarily, but Emperor, you know, came late in the line, vintage-wise. So it's kind of a cool piece we picked to collect the modern pre-production because there's so many variations of Palpatine and Emperor. So it kind of gives us a lot to play with there. So just some stuff I picked up. And then again, yeah, these are the crew gift items from Solo, being a Han Solo collector. You know, got really stoked when they announced that the movie was coming out and decided I want to try and pick up some pieces. So, just a work in progress collection there.
Yeah, this is one on my list. You have the Power of the Force Emperor back there. That's a line I'm probably thinking about trying to finish off next because I'm so close to finished. Okay, so where are we going to go next?
All right, so this is the main room here. You know, just 20 plus years of collecting right here. And obviously I'm primarily a vintage collector. The bread and butter would be the Han and Leia cases. You know, this is what I really focus on. I primarily try and get stuff in fairly nice condition, clear bubbles.
Now,
debut cards. So
are all these boxes on the top here of the shelf?
So
are they empty or do they actually have the toy in them?
No, the box collection, it's 95% of it is complete in the box, unused content. So stickers were never put on. It still has the cardboard inserts, instructions, all that kind of stuff. I have a handful of items that are still sealed, but I'm content with the unused stuff. That way, if I ever want, I can take it out and look at it. I could display the vehicle if I wanted. And it's about half the price. So, so yeah, so just various Han and Leia items. If any of you see are the debut for that card back, special offer stuff, foreign items, you know, included in collecting Han and Leia, throw in a little bit of Millennium Falcon.
So, I'm not familiar with, what are these little belts?
These belts are the Canadian utility belt set. So the Leia came with the white belt, the gun, and then she had a couple other pieces that I haven't been able to track down yet. And then there was a Luke and a Vader set. They both came with the black belt. Just a few pieces I picked up along the way and kind of fit the collection. Down here, it's all various foreign or bootleg Han and Leia pieces. Stuff from Lily Letty in Mexico, Hungarian, Polish.
What are these two blasters here?
The one on the right came from TIG, the Imperial Gunnery, did an auction. I believe that one's cast. And then the one on the left came from probably room sales, and it's a 3D printed. I just thought they kind of looked nice on display. So,
okay.
And then over here, more Leia stuff. This piece, the statue, came from the Carrie Fisher auction after she passed away.
Was that in her house?
It was her personal statue. She had a handful of them commissioned and given out to friends, and that was the one that she'd kept for herself.
Now, is this the piece you were talking about earlier in the center here that's your personal favorite?
That's probably my, toy-wise, that's probably my personal favorite is that Hero 3-pack. Unpunched, no sticker, just the way I like it, clear bubble. Got a nice 80 grade.
Very nice.
So, and then here's some foreign items. The famous Lily Letty.
The one in the Bosch?
The one in the Bosch, that one, I think that's just a normal 65A Kenner US version. A nice foreign Han Solo, a nice foreign Han Hoth. That's a Canada card. And then down here, I'm working on a 12A run. It's not completed yet. So got the header in the back.
That's the thing back in the 70s when they couldn't keep up with demand that you would get that said...
No, that's not that. That was put on display, and it's what you would just... That's the cardboard header, and then there was a tray that went in front of it, and that's what they displayed the figures in.
Okay.
It was like a tabletop display.
Do you have the thing I was talking about where it was...
I do. Okay. Yeah, it's over here. So the top row is all the 12As that are going to stay in the collection. The bottom row are filler pieces for now until I can get... well, the Boba Fett's real, but he wasn't a 12 back. So yeah, some micro collection stuff. Most of that, again, unused contents. Most of that's actually sealed. The micro collection, I think, is one of the most underrated Kenner products out there.
I remember seeing those as a kid, and I have not seen them ever, like, in person since I've started interacting with your group, because we went over to another member's house, and he had some, and I just was like, oh my goodness.
It's a great line.
Now, what is... That's an Admiral Akbar?
Yeah, that was a Gentle Giant Club exclusive, I believe, from a couple years ago. At this point, it might be 4 or 5 years.
And that's the...
That's the Macquarie concept that was the Celebration exclusive at the last Celebration.
So, do you think you've been to all the celebrations?
Oh, I absolutely have not. No, we've only been to... this coming one will be our 4th. So, yeah, we missed the first few.
Okay, and so then up here on the windowsill, you got a couple. Is there anything in any of these cases?
Yeah, they're all unused, so they still have the sticker sheets, and so they're not sealed, but they've still got the full sticker sheets and the inserts.
I remember having one of those as a kid.
Yeah.
But, all right, so then we're on his lower cases here, and this is more the micro collection.
Yeah. I'm missing a couple pieces from the micro collection.
What is this one? Here?
That's from Droids.
Yeah.
Is that the ATL Interceptor?
Okay.
I don't have a box version of it, so that's why it's sitting out in the collection, because I've got everything else
boxed. Jabba's in that box?
Yeah. Jeez. All the boxes have got all the stuff in them.
Jeez. Now, what is this little Chewbacca? Is he just a stuffed Chewbacca?
Just a plush Chewbacca, yeah. He doesn't have his tags on.
Is he from the 80s?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I don't remember that. I remember the Ewok ones. I had those. Or I had one of those as a child. But.
So then, yeah, the 12-back run, loose. You're basically getting into my full loose run.
Oh, jeez.
All the production stuff. One of the cooler items I have is this Vlix Glassleet figure that was only released in Brazil. It is an actual production used piece, or production made piece.
Now, why does he only have one leg?
Because I've been parting him together over the last decade, and that's as far as I've gotten. He's by far the rarest production piece out there. Now this, if you don't include some weird variants.
Now this is obviously your unboxed vintage, right? So
correct.
Do you have the whole run?
I've got the whole run. I'm not a big variant guy. I'm not a big COO guy, so it's just some of the more obvious variants. Red bar R2s and different color heads and whatnot, and just missing a couple pieces out of this, and it's mainly just some coins. The Yak Face and the Anakin coins are just just expensive. So this is the early bird certificate we're talking about.
Yeah, okay.
And this is a double telescoping Luke set. And the cool thing about my collection here is they were all originally owned by the same person. So the mailer for the EB figure set and the mailer for the display stand, those both have the same name and address, and the early bird certificate was also picked up from the same person. So I don't know how many people out there have a matching set like that. I'm sure other collectors do, but it was something that really drew me when I had the opportunity to buy it, was that it was all owned by the same person.
I've never even seen that in a box before, the Cy Snoodles band. Jeez. It's amazing.
So coming up from there, there's just some baggy figures that I kind of have sitting out. Pretty cool to see the bagged Death Star foam.
Oh, yeah. and you got the...
Dianoga.
I was just going to say Death Star Monster.
Yeah. And then again, we kind of have a little bit of an Emperor focus, so some pretty clear bubbled Emperors there. just kind of something I've been putting together. You collect a figure long enough, you start running out of stuff to buy.
I'm still to this point.
So that's actually a sealed shuttle.
Really? Jeez.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And then over here, yeah, just more box, mostly unused, some sealed stuff.
I've been seeing people post a lot of pictures of these.
The mini rigs?
Yeah, and I totally forgot they existed.
Yeah, that's something I started getting into recently. They're fairly inexpensive to pick up. Fairly
Not for much
plentiful.
longer.
Right, I know. So yeah, just a lot of different unused box stuff.
Is that a remote controlled land speeder?
Yeah.
Oh my god. TIE Interceptor. Droid's A-Wing.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then, so this is just kind of, I like the Beyond the Toys stuff too, which has kind of been dubbed recently, or you know. It's just kind of fun to collect. I like kind of the weird oddball stuff. It's neat. It's different. Obviously, there's still a focus on Han and Leia. But, you know, there's just some fun stuff out there. Fairly low entry point to get into, and it's just kind of cool.
There he is, the Millennium Falcon. And is that everything you have in this room?
That's everything but these men on cars.
Yep, okay. That's right.
Yeah, so...
Let me... okay, very good. The camera's picking this up. It's adjusting to the light. Yeah, a little bit better.
Yeah. So I've been focusing on trying to get debut card backs, which for those that don't know, it means the first card back the figure was ever released on. And then I've been going for clear bubbles in the Return of the Jedi line, which for anybody who's also either done that, congratulations to you, or anybody who's attempting it, good luck. It's a fun little run to try and put together, but man, is it tough. So
very beautiful. Your whole collection is very impressive, and
cool. I appreciate it.
I want to thank you for allowing me into your house to film it and talk to you about it and talk about the group. And just thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it, and we're signing off.
All right, well, cheers, guys.
Bye, everyone. There it is, guys. That was Justin's collection. And as you can tell, Justin's a very passionate Star Wars fan. And I can't thank him enough for allowing me into his house and letting me film his collection. He was very generous with his time. Thank you so much, Justin. I really appreciate it. And as you may have heard Justin mention in the video, he is a bar owner here in Atlanta. So if you guys are ever in the Atlanta area, stop by his bar. It's very cool. It's called the Diesel Filling Station. And if you stop by the bar, you may get lucky and Justin may actually be in there. So you can meet Justin, and I'm sure he would be more than happy to talk Star Wars with you. So there you go, guys. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you guys later. Bye.